honesty.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny moment in those in that commercial series. But and then of course, just recently we're watching as the newest vacation movie came out. There was a car company that
I think it was Toyota
or something that was did a commercial, and it was Ethan Embry playing the driver of the vehicle, and you actually hear the song from the original vacation movie, Holiday Road. And he's driving down the street, and he looks over his shoulder to a blonde driving this convertible, and his supposedly wife looks at him and says, "Really, honey? A blonde in a convertible? Like that'll ever happen?" And it turns out that his wife is played by Christy Brinkley, who was the original blonde in the convertible in the original vacation movie.
Yeah, it's very complicated. You start trying to tell the story, and it gets complicated if you haven't seen it. I forget that I forget there's people in this world that haven't seen these movies.
Yeah, but if you're a fan of the movie series, like we are, it's basically it's one of those like great little gems that most the people of the whether you want to call us geeks or nerds or movie buffs or whatever, we're the ones that will get the joke as opposed to average everyday Joe Schmo.
Yeah, so what am I going to do? What is that? Got the trivia thing down. Going over notes in my head. Don't judge me. Because I have notes on paper too. Let's see.
Notes, certain cast members, the SNL alumnums, ad-libbing. I think we pretty much hit mostly everything on here. Oh, the one nice little fact is about how in the UK, or possibly even most of Europe, I'm sure.
I think UK kind of covers, it's just like they use that as Europe.
Yeah. Christmas Vacation actually went straight to video as opposed to being released in the theaters. Compared to what, I guess for some reason, in Europe, holiday movies aren't as big.
I don't know. I've never been to Europe.
Yeah.
I can't even pick it out on a map, really.
But
I know where Italy is. It looks like a boot.
Yeah. But Christmas Vacation basically became the highest grossing film of the franchise.
Well, once again, I think it's the best one of the franchise, so that's why it did that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know how the UK works. It's funny, I don't think of Europeans going to movies. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but movies are huge there, too. Maybe back then it wasn't, because they're always like artsy theater, go see live things and music and stuff. So, I mean, I guess and it's an American stupid movie, so it's like...
Oh, you stupid Americans! You don't know how to celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, it's like we don't have the artsy.
There I go with my quote unquote really bad Sasha Derevko impersonation right there.
But what's funny is I don't see like Europeans gathering to see artsy fartsy American films. Like Americans like to see artsy French movies, Yeah.
Oh, actually, the one I like here is the one where you say Rusty watches. Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life on TV. And what's interesting is the fact that Frank Capra III, it was the second director, second AD, second assistant director on Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, it was very much like an industry production.
Yeah.
It was all like people that have been in the business, related people in the business, and just kept, going with the business. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's funny for the stupid little Christmas movie it is, there's like a lot of Hollywood in it. Mm-hmm. So I think that adds the appeal to it. And it was funny because I never did any fact finding for the movie until I decided I wanted to do a podcast about the movie. And I found all this cool stuff out. There's funny stuff, just like in the movie there's a part where the cat gets electrocuted because it's chewing on
the wires
of the tree. They actually were worried about keeping that scene in the film. Yeah. Because they thought it was going to it depicted animal cruelty and that people were going to be offended by it. But it ended up being they said in the test screening it was like the funniest scene that people loved in the movie, so they kept it in. and then what happens after that is a fake death of a cat.
The squirrel.
The fake death of the cat they wanted to take out of the film, but then the squirrel who's in the tree. Actually, when they first did it, they had a trained squirrel, but the squirrel died before they could shoot the scene, so they ended up using an untrained squirrel and a fake squirrel to shoot out of the tree, because originally they were going to have a real squirrel jump out of the tree at people because it was trained, but they had to having to use an untrained one because the other one died. So it's like they didn't want to take that scene out though. When the squirrel died, well, the squirrel doesn't die on camera. Well, the cat doesn't die on camera either. It's you hear electrocution, and then you hear a fake cat sound. So I mean, it really didn't do anything. It's like a cat like in Scrooge, the guy kicks the cat when the guy calls him a butthead, and then it's like a butthead.
I actually love that scene with Bob Mitchell. Kicks him in.
Oh. Well, I think we're going to call it a night. You know, gave you some facts about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and about a billion other stupid things too. But we're back.
Yep, that we are.
Hopefully, it won't be another 3 months before the next. It won't be another 3 months for the next. I'm just kidding. Things have calmed down. We're going to really try to buckle down and get episodes out weekly again so people can enjoy them. I want to thank everybody who is still listening, who still asks about the podcast and when.
Thank you for your loyalty.
Yeah, when we're going to do a new one. I know I've told people a bunch of different times, I'm doing one tonight, and then evidently it's something happens. Like yesterday we were gonna record, and then I had to go to the doctor. I have to have hernia surgery, so it's just like I was dealing with that all night or all afternoon, and just didn't feel like sitting there and like trying to. I was being mopey, basically, is what I was being last night. I was being mopey. I've never had surgery before. I'm not scared of it. I've been dealing with so much crap right now. I just want to get it done with. So it's just like, all right, let's schedule it. Let's get it done so I can move on, because at least this I can get done. So I was just trying to get all that stuff figured out. But I appreciate the patience of everyone, and I like the new listeners too. Like, I try to promote as much as I can on Twitter, and I've met some really cool people that do podcasts all around the country. I think I have some UK people that I follow and listen to too. But I want to throw a special shout out to Untapped Potential Podcast. You can find them on Twitter at Untap Us. That's at UNTAPPUS. Rachel and Rock, they're out of Atlanta. They do a great podcast. It's more pop culture and news and stuff. Like, ours is supposed to be general, but it always ends up being about movies and nerd stuff. But they cover like up to date news and stuff, and it's a weekly podcast. I suggest you listen to it, show them some love, and I think that's it for tonight.
I think we're done.
So if we don't have a new episode up until after Christmas, Mede Kalikimaka is how they say it in Hawaii. Feliz Navidad for all our Mexican buddies, Spanish buddies, or
Spanish-speaking folk.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. What else is there?
Of course, Merry Christmas.
Well, I was going to say Merry Christmas for last, because, I celebrate Christmas, so I was going to say. For the atheists, nothing.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. I hope you get good parking wherever you're going, because everyone's going to be home. Go see a movie. Stay away from religious artifacts and items you don't want to burn. And now we can throw out the Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Since this is the end of the podcast.
Merry Christmas.
And I might say Merry Christmas again, because we might do another episode before the holidays. If not, we'll probably see you you'll hear from us right before New Year's. And I think that is about it for us. And good night, everyone.
Good night. Woof woof.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah.